Hello everybody, Sergeant Soldier here, and we're back with another Break and Rust, and today we're going to be doing two bases in this one video, because really these two bases are very similar. I prefer one over the other, but that's my own preference, and it's up to you guys to decide which one that you like, depending on what your base is going to be, how many people you have, etc, etc, etc. So the first base we're going to look at is going to be this one over here to the left, and we're going to start with the standard 2x2, like this, right? Now, like our previous video, we're going to go ahead and build a Shuriken around it. You guys remember the Shuriken, right? We did that, I want to say maybe episode 2 or 3 of this series, the build series. It's been a while, but in case you forgot, this is what the Shuriken looks like, right? Now, once you get to this point, and this all has to be built at the same exact time, so you can't live in the 2x2 and then upgrade it, right? You gotta build it all at once. So we're gonna go back, and we're gonna remove 3 foundations, and replace them, not there, replace them with triangles. And remove the 4th one, like so. And then we fly up, and this is going to be the 2x2 Shuriken with triangles. This base actually gives us double walls on the inside, which gives us an extra layer of protection. This is the base I prefer out of the two for this video, simply because if you look around the outside Shuriken honeycombing layer, it's all connected, which means if you want to expand upon this and add additional layers, it's really easy to do so. The second one, not so much. So anyway, I'm going to upgrade all the foundations to stone, and then we're going to start adding to this base, and I'll show you a few things that you could do with it. Okay, so now from here, the first thing you're going to do, once you get this already down, is you need to decide where you're going to put your door. Now typically, I like putting my doors in the squares. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to place one here, right there, and right here. Now, of course, if you want to add an extra layer, you could always put it through the triangles here and go through this side. There's a lot of different things you can do, but really, it's up to you how you want to do it. Now, when it comes to adding the doors, for these first two, it doesn't really matter too much. I prefer putting my second door this way. That way, it's not trying to cut into this triangle here, where having a door sticking in can make it really difficult to get through this tight area. The second two, however, have to be placed this way, otherwise it's not going to be a big enough gap for you to walk through. So this door here has to open in like this. It has to cover the gap like that. Otherwise, it won't work. And then this door has to open in as well. See that? Now you're able to walk through, no problems at all. However, if you do it the other way, like so, notice I can't get through here. The door has to be placed the first way. And like that. See? Now we're good to go. Now from here, you're probably saying, okay, Sergeant Soldier, so what's so different about this base compared to the other ones? Well, it's got triangles on the inside. That means that you've got a double layer of walls. So we'll go around like this, like so. There's our inside. Now we're gonna go like that, and there's our double layer. Check it out. Double layer. Now, of course, if they're using rockets, once they punch through one of these outer walls, they'll be able to get 2 walls on the inside down pretty quickly. However, just having that extra wall, if you're on a server where there aren't any large groups, or it's really difficult to get components, or people are fighting over components and it's the first day of the wipe or second day of the wipe, something like this would actually be pretty easy to defend. Not that many people are going to have a bunch of rockets and a bunch of C4, or at the very least, a bunch of satchel charges. And then hopefully by the time they do get that stuff, you're just going to be adding layers around it as you go. Now from here, there's one last thing I want to show you guys. Remember, if there's walls inside of the square, such as with the triangles here, you can't add the floor on top of it. So if you want to go ahead and add a wall like this, and it's a little difficult sometimes, like that, and like this, all the way around. Once you have that second layer of walls up, then you can add your square floors like this. Go back inside, add all the walls. Now you're probably saying, okay, well, why would I want to do that? From the top, this looks like a regular Shuriken, a regular 2x2. They're not going to be able to tell that it's double layered. If for some reason you didn't leave this open like that, or you left it open like that and you didn't cover it up, they'd be able to tell, if I put the floors in, they'd be able to tell that it's double layered. Simply by building up a raid tower or standing on this mountain up here, they'd be able to tell the layout of your base and say, okay, that's double layered there. Instead of trying to blow through the side, we need to do this instead. So that's that particular base. I like this base over the second one. I like this one more just because of the double layers and the fact that you can expand upon the honeycomb. But it's not up to me, it's up to you guys. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the day real quick, and then we're going to get started on the next build. Okay, for this next build, we're going to start with the 2x2, which means that instead of tearing it down like we did with the previous one, you could actually start with a 2x2 base and give your base double walls, double stacked walls. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna fly down, and because these are permanent, we're gonna upgrade them. We're gonna pretend that you guys were already living here. Now from here, we're gonna take our squares and we're gonna go out 7. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Take a triangle, put the cap on. Now we go back, remove all the squares, and we build back with triangles. Oop, didn't place. Place, there we go. All the way back to here. Alright, now, be very careful. Make sure this last triangle does not attach to the foundation like that, see? We want to make sure that it's just slightly off. And that's going to give you the gap necessary, if I can find it, to do your double walls. See? 2 separate walls. So basically what I'm going to do, fly back here, I'm going to go around on all 4 sides and do 1 triangle so that we can start building off of it. I'm not going to make you watch it though, so give me a minute, we'll be right back. Okay, now all of our triangles are in place, and what we're going to do now is we're going to start adding on to it. So, making sure that you attach it to the triangle and not the squares that we started from, we're going to build out 2, 3, take a square, add it in. So, 1, 2, oops, see, I went to the wrong one. Be very, very careful about that. 2, 3, square. 1, I did it again. 2, 3, square. Like that, right? All the way around. Now from here, we're just going to upgrade everything to stone, and you'll get an idea of why I don't really like this base too much. Like this, all the way around. Alright, so as we go closer to the squares, you're going to realize this is where the gap is. This is why I don't like this base, because it's harder to get honeycombing to work with additional layers due to the gaps. There's going to be spots that overlap, it's not going to work 100% right, you can't get all the walls in that you need to get in. It's just a nightmare. But check this out. This is something extra that you can do to add a little bit extra security to this type of base. And that is, take the foundation and double stack it. Now your corners are all going to be double stacked, which makes it a little bit easier to do honeycombing around. You have a little bit more options that may help to disguise the fact that there are double stacked walls and double stacked foundations. However, it can be a little difficult to get doors to work. So we're going to start with 2 doors here, and notice our doors line up. So it'll allow us to go in and out, right? And then we'll do a door here on the side. And then 2 doors here on the triangle and the square. This gives us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 doors for this base to get in, which isn't too bad, considering the other base was, I believe, 4. Unfortunately, I had to tear it down to put the triangle in. But 5 doors into the base, yeah, that's not too bad at all. And then going along the inside, of course, if I can get it to work right, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 15. Come on. There we go. There we go. Now you've got double stacked walls going around the square, not to mention the fact that you've got all the triangles and of course the double stacked foundations in the corners. So raiding this base is a little more difficult. You're going to have problems adding additional honeycombing here in this corner because of the double stacked foundations. If you decide not to do it, you can make it work, but you're still going to get gaps. And those gaps can and will give your base away. So like I said, I don't like this one as much because the honeycombing, expanding the honeycombing is a lot more difficult, but it's completely up to you guys what you want to use for your base. I'm just showing you 2 ideas that actually work. So with this, this base is actually called the Shuriken with double walls. I would say that's pretty fitting, except because we put the double foundations, I would probably say that the 2x2 Shuriken with double walls and double foundations. It's a little long name, but whatever, you guys know what it is. But anyway, that's going to be it for this video. It's really short and simple. 2 bases in 1 video. Hopefully at this point, we've already covered the majority of the medium-sized bases that are relatively simple. And we're going to start expanding into some of the harder stuff that involves more foundation alternating and stacking and stuff like that. So if you guys have any suggestions for really cool base designs that are medium-sized or larger, please let me know in the comments section. Shoot me a message on Steam, an email. You can go to the contact section of our website, and there's a contact form there. Or you could just say, hey, Sergeant Solj, check this out. I got something to show you, and then I'll find a way to get a hold of you. If it's a small base, I'd still love to see it, even though we're moving on from small bases. Small bases are something that are very important to Rust and Rust players because we all got to start somewhere, and not everybody can build something like this right away. So, Sergeant Solge, building Rust, and we'll see you in the next Building Rust video. Bye-bye! Thank you so much for watching this episode. If you want to see more great content from Private Astro or myself, please hit that subscribe button and click on any of the videos above. Otherwise, we'll see you in the next Sergeant Solge or Private Astro video. Bye-bye!